Happy 420, guys, gals, non-binary pals, metalheads, and potheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new, very special episode of the Metal Meltdown. It is finally that truly magical time of the year where everyone's a little happier and everything smells a little funkier. And in honor of this momentous holiday and occasion, I have decided that we are going to work together to assemble the ultimate 420 metal playlist. A couple of days ago, I asked y'all, what do you think makes for the ultimate 420 playlist? And this time, think outside the box. Don't just pick the standard stoner metal jams. Tell me about the albums you would or will jam on 420 this year. Let's see what you got. Let's go. Let's put together the best, most essential, most important, most different 420 metal playlist ever. Bean Man says, dope thrown by Electric Wizard, baby. I smoke to it a lot. No disrespect to you, no disrespect to Electric Wizard, but if we can just scroll up. Don't just pick the standard stoner metal jams. Think outside the box. Come on! First comment too. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like what next? Oh, you know what I play on my birthday? Happy birthday. You know what I play at Christmas? Merry Christmas. Come on! I'm gonna let it slide for now because you know what? Dope thrown by Electric Wizard, perhaps more so than any other kind of quintessential stoner metal album, really is a quintessential stoner album. I'm gonna let it slide now. But you're on thin fucking ice. All of y'all's thin ice. Mono Grinded says, I like just hitting random because you never know what experience the sequence of songs will give you. Oh, you live dangerously. You live on the edge. I kinda like that. I kinda fuck with that. Now, mind you, this has the potential to, like, really backfire. Like, I'm not sure I want to listen to, like, Lingua Ignota or Gnaw Their Tongues or Portal or Merzbow while I'm fucking smoking pot or eating edibles or something like that. Like, if I'm super fucked up, if I'm really tripping, I'm not really sure I want to risk stumbling into that kind of stuff. But even so, just doing this, I think, makes for a very lively, sporadic, unpredictable experience. Keeps you on the edge of your toes. Ray Sky Pony 6909 says Acral Madness, Pentagram, Beasus, Alex, the Rick and Morty official soundtrack? What? I don't know. I don't know if I'm fucking with this vibe, man. I don't know. It's definitely eclectic, I'll give you that. But I don't know if I'm totally on board. That being said, I do love synthwave, and I think that there is a lot of synthwave that would make for really great 420 listening vibes and such. Guitars and the Power They Hold writes, I don't smoke weed, but Agaloc's mellow acoustic songs like A Desolation Song and So Willow Rune are some of my favorites to listen to while smoking cigars. Clarice from America is another good one. This guy don't even smoke weed, but they got a better understanding of what I'm asking about. I like this. I could see myself listening to Agalock on 420. I mean, it definitely would be a little, like, mournful, melancholic, and gloomy in parts, but yeah, the folksy elements, the atmospheric black metal elements all kind of mesh together with the acoustic guitars and, like, the sweeping keys and strings and such. I kind of fuck with that vibe, you know? It's a more gloomy-doomy kind of 420, but I kind of fuck with it. Rubicon Mary says, In Flames makes for some good stoner music, lots of dueling guitar harmonies that one can pick up on and appreciate. You know, I kind of like that. I mean, I got a soft spot for, like, classic 90s Swedish melodeath, so, like, listening particularly to, like, early In Flames and getting a little toasted, I fuck with that. I mean, you're basically describing, like, my early 20s right there. Not sure I would love this idea if we were talking about albums like I the Mask and Battles and Siren Charms and Clayman 2020, but, you know, if we're talking Lunar Strain, Horacle, Jester Race, Colony, I'm right there with you. Hell yeah. Sonya Saturn 64 says, Knock Loose, you won't go before you're supposed to. I love getting high and blasting that album. I really did not expect to see like a hardcore, metalcore album thrown in here. But hey, I did tell y'all to think outside the box, and you are doing so fuck yeah. And you know what? I kind of like this album because I feel like if you're with friends and like smoking weed, playing video games, eating pizza, playing this kind of music, that is a really great fucking vibe right there. I fuck with this. Left Hand Riff says Sleep, Dope Smoker, Electric Wizard, Dope Throne, Sabbath's Master of Reality, Caius, Blues from the Red Sun. Guys, what part of don't pick the standard stoner metal albums and think outside the box was unclear? Come on! I mean, you're right, these are all great stoner albums, but come on! Hayden Huffman 7976 says, I honestly love listening to Vector while high. It's dopamine on top of dopamine. Any of their albums would do, but Terminal Redux in particular is mind-bending. You and I would have gotten along very well in college. I like this a lot. I'm always in the mood for some over-the-top sci-fi techie prog thrash metal, but like Terminal Redux, Outer Isolation, High with those screeching falsettos and synths and killer guitar shredding and pyrotechnics, hell yeah, that's fun as fuck. Mindful2864 says I'm going with Mastodon and Crack the Sky, the perfect album for that. Agreed. Crack the Sky is not a stoner metal album, but a great metal album for stoners. Like, it's just fucking perfect. And, you know, for that matter, I'd have no issue listening to The Hunter, Blood Mountain, Leviathan, maybe not Remission, it's a little bit too chaotic, too many, like, jagged, brutal moments and such, but Mastodon in general, like, they definitely have a lot of albums that fit the 420 vibe. Metal Trenches says, the more mind-melting the better, so maybe like Igor or Psy. Note to self, smoke with Metal Trenches. Hell yeah. This motherfucker understands what I'm fucking asking for. Fuck yeah. Siberian Winter, one can't say a good 420 playlist without Electric Wizard's Dope Throne. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna start taking shots every time I start hearing Dope Throne, like holy fucking shit. What part of don't pick the standard stoner metal albums and also think outside the box was unclear? What part? Sir Spooky Bones 1118 says every Cannabis Corpse album in a row. You know, I'm not even the biggest fan of Cannabis Corpse, but if there is one mood, one day, one environment that Cannabis Corpse was very literally made for, it's 420. Approved. JZ913 says Electric Wizard is a classic, uh-oh, but I'd recommend Summoning the Lich for a more unconventional experience. Oh, man, you had me scared there for a hot little second. They are more death thrash metal, but their songs are fantasy-inspired and have overt drug references, plus they're a local band for me. Shout out to St. Louis. Hell yeah, I like that, I fuck with that vibe. I love some death thrash metal. Been a long time since I listened to Summoning the Lich. This is a good reminder to re-listen, to recheck them out. Big Face TV 3633 says, I know this is a metal channel, but any jazz fusion, Return to Forever, Weatherport, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Miles Davis late 60s, early 70s albums, Tony Williams' Lifetime, Ali Di Meola, any of the numerous projects Alan Holdsworth has been a part of, Jaco Pastorius, Billy Cobham, and Herbie Hancock's Headhunters, just to name a few essentials of the genre. Bravo! This motherfucker gets it! Hell yeah! Jazz music in general is awesome for a good stoner sesh, but like jazz fusion, like weird artsy-fartsy improvisational experimental jazz fusion crap, hell yeah, all the way. If that's at the party, I'm fucking there. Andy Wright 5182 says Wolves in the Throne Room, any album? You know, there's definitely aspects of the Wolves in the Throne Room sound that I think would complement a stoner sesh quite nicely, particularly on some of the more atmospheric, ambient-leaning releases that they've done and released in the past. So, yeah, I fuck with this. I like this. Approved. Croshbur says probably something like Queens of the Stone Age, Electric Wizard, and Tool as a cookie-cutter answer, but I would personally go with stuff like The Prodigy, Fatboy Slim, and maybe even some Genghis Tron. I really like the idea of getting really high and listening to The Prodigy and Fatboy Slim and just like pretending that I'm in like some kind of shitty club in the mid to late 90s. I like that. Great vibes, great energy. I'm definitely smoking with you. I'm definitely going to whatever party you throw. Shrimpy2876 says Tool, King Gizzard's jammy stuff or early stuff, the band Love with Arthur Lee, Viagra Boys 2 to be honest, Danny Brown, JPEG Mafia, Primus Helmet, Sliff's Umum. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm familiar with the rest of these names, and I really fully agree. Love Danny Brown, love JPEG Mafia, would happily jam anything from them, plus also the collab album Scaring the Hose, Primus, Helmet, I like that. Primus especially because it's like really fucking weird sometimes. Viagra Boys, I like that as well. King Gizzard, you know, you could honestly pick any album in the King Gizzard discography, and I think it fits in quite nicely. And I know that from experience because I've gotten high to a bunch of different King Gizzard albums. I've gotten high to Infest the Rat's Nest and Petrodragonic Apocalypse, Murder of the Universe, Fishing for Fishies, the jazz fusion one, what is it, Flying Microtonal Banana? Tool, I don't know, although I will say I have enjoyed Tool the most when I've been high, so fuck it. Why not? Zenitman78 says definitely most of Tool discography, Vicarious, Nimona, 10,000 Days, just give you that out-of-your-mind experience. Black Braid, Gojira, Pallbearer, Scald, great doom metal gem, also Pylon, great Christian doom at its both sides, also surprisingly Baroque classical music. Handel, Bach, Vivaldi if you prefer to be soothingly stoned. Classical music at the Stoner Sesh. Interesting. I've not heard or experienced that before, but I'm game to try it out. I like that. And Black Braid, Gojira, Scald, cool stuff, but Pallbearer, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Pick any Pallbearer album, it fits, it's perfect, we good, we Gucci, we having fun. Xylus says, aside from any obvious metal choices, I like to smoke to Animal Collective, Tobacco, BMSR, Asaya Rashad, Can, Fulakuti, Portishead, Catano Veloso, Don Cherry, Miles Davis, Tangerine Dream, Cocteau Twins, The OCs, The Mars Volta, Pink Floyd, ASAP Rocky, Wes Montgomery, and lots of classical music, particularly the works of Dollar and Debussy. Debussy, oh boy. In terms of metal, though, nothing beats Black Sabbath, Electric Wizard, Earth, and Boris. It's crazy how, like, my man thought outside the box and didn't give me the standard picks, and then right at the end went, oh yeah, we're back in the box. Here are the standard stoner metal picks. Undeniably a great collection of tunes here, though, like Tangerine Dream, Cocteau Twins, The OCs, The Mars Volta, Pink Floyd, hell fucking yeah, Animal Collective too. A lot of names here I'm not familiar with, but like just judging the vibe of this playlist assembled thus far, you definitely seem like somebody I would want to be at a stoner sesh party with. You fucking invite me to smoke with you sometime, I'm probably saying yes. Idiot Box Productions 1880 says, haven't smoked in a few years, but I can tell you some bands that I would definitely spin back in the day. The Mars Volta, Seven Dust, Tool, TV on the Radio, Slightly Stupid, Nine Inch Nails, Massive Attack, Slipknot, King Crimson, Freddie Hubbard. Not sure I'm feeling Slipknot. Nine Inch Nails depends on the album. But King Crimson, definitely feeling. Fuck yeah. Bailey Discus 7716 says Gorguts, any of their albums honestly, but especially Obscura. Especially in big, bold capital letters. Alright, I see you, I feel you, I get you, okay. I mean, especially Obscura is pretty risky. It's a pretty technical, complex, avant-garde record. It is not for the average person. So this probably wouldn't be played at the, typical stoner party, like if you just had a bunch of random friends over. But like, if it was people you knew and you were all a bunch of music nerds and you were looking to create a specific kind of experience, Obscura could definitely get you there. Cameron Stein 905 says Trout Mask Replica by Captain Beefheart cannot be topped. It has been a long time since I even thought of this album. I like this idea a lot. I am going to unironically get high sometime soon and jam this album. I feel like that could be a really cool experience. Randy P9226 says, lately it's been a lot of melodic death doom. Sometimes it's slam or caveman brain bands like Sanguisugabog, Body Box, etc., or bands that incorporate sax. All over the place, to be honest. Melodic death and doom metal definitely fits the vibe nicely. I'm not a huge fan of slam or like super caveman-y brain dead death metal. That being said, I do like some Sanguisugabog, and I definitely think that anything with a saxophone is probably going to fit the 420 vibe pretty nicely, so I fuck with it. Approved. Southern Trendkill 4889 says, Electric Wizard, Dope Throne. Heyo, someone finally mentioned it. Or Witch Cult Today. Look at that, switching things up, not just Dope Throne. Also, Luminiferous from High on Fire, Infestasumam from Ghost, The Night Creeper or Wasteland, Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, Like Clockwork from Queens of the Stone Age, Melissa from Merciful Fate, just off the top of my head. High on Fire, Uncle Acid, Queens of the Stone Age, definitely more than worthy of being on a 420 playlist. I'm not really sure about Merciful Fate. It kind of depends on who I'm listening to Merciful Fate with. Like, if I'm listening to it with my wife, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. But if I'm listening to it with, like, my sister or some other friends who aren't aware of Merciful Fate or something like that, I don't know. Like, it just might not fit the vibe, especially with those, like, piercing, screeching, operatic falsetto vocals. Very happy to see Infestus Sumon from Ghost listed here, because that is my favorite album from Ghost, and it is like a go-to album for me when I really want to get high. I just really love the vibe of that record, how it blends like occult rock, gothic rock, all these kind of like heavenly, epic, progressive elements, and surf rock. Like, I think it's a great album in general, and it definitely belongs on a 420 playlist. The Cyanide Smoker says, Astronoid. I believe I saw them categorized as Dream Thrash, but the Stargazer EP and first two albums are danky speedy, but not too speedy goodness. What? What are any of these words you're talking about? Wade Kemsey7180 says, Fontaines DC, Hiatus Coyote, Lana Del Rey, The Mars Volta, and Oasis are some artists I'll probably spin. Not gonna lie, bud, if you play Oasis at the 420 party, I'm leaving. I'm out. Straight up, bro. Entity of Darkness 696 says, I'm not forgetting about Stargazer by Rainbow this year. Hell yeah. Ronnie James Dio, Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. Fuck yeah, bud. I love that album. I used to get high to that all the time back in college. Another go-to album for getting nice and toasted and blazed. The one and only Michael McCormick says, when I get high, I like to listen to, predictably, a lot of stoner and doom metal. However, because I'm not a great big nerd whose hyperfixation on the works of Robert E. Howard was reignited recently, this 420 I'm going to be listening to Green Lung, Castle Rat, Frog Lord, Candlemass, Crypt Sermon, and Bog Wizard. A lot of great bands here. Green Lung is perfect for 420 sesh. Crypt Sermon as well, Castle Rat as well, Frog Lord as well. Candlemass, I think it depends on the album, but overall, solid playlist, approved. Leon Lasser 7104 says, not much of a stoner to be honest. I did smoke a few hookahs back in the days, and my favorite albums for that one were Cypress Hill 3, Temples of Boom, Massive Attack, Protection, and self-titled album from Portishead. Honestly, for someone who's not much of a stoner, this is a pretty decent little stoner playlist. I like this. Well done. Craig Cody 3219 says, Enslaved, Tool, Rush, The Sword, Crowbar, so many to choose from. I am shocked it took this long for somebody to mention The Sword, because everything from The Sword is perfect for a 420 playlist and for a 420 party. Period. End of story. Not up for fucking debate. Tails Xavier 572 says, I Hate God, Dope Sick, Crowbar, Oddfellows Rest, Bazovan, Soar, Superjoint Ritual, A Lethal Dose of American Hatred, Primitive Man Immersion, Acid Bath, both albums. Immersion from Primitive Man? Bro, you're gonna scare the hoes! What are we doing? I feel like I Hate God is risky as well, but I do like I Hate God, and I do like that Crowbar album as well. Superjoint Ritual never really got super into them, but, you know, overall, there's definitely some 420-friendly jams here and there. I fuck with it. I'm not super into it, but I'm not super out of it. Cool Guy Casey says, Pizza Thrash always goes well with weed for me because the party aspect goes hand in hand for me. So for me, I gotta go with The Art of Partying by Municipal Waste. The riffs hit harder after a joint. What can I say? I get that. I fuck with that. I like that. I mean, for me, if I'm listening to, like, thrash metal like that, I'd rather have a beer. I'd rather drink some hard liquor. But you know what? I'll take weed if it's there. That's fine by me. I'm not picky. Ruiner115 says, Black Sunday by Cypress Hill, Friday, the original motion picture soundtrack, Less Obvious, Absolute Elsewhere by Blood Incantation, Gold Star by Imperial Triumphant, The House of Gold and Bones, Parts 1 and 2 by Stone Sour, Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, Revolver by The Beatles, Meliora by Ghost, and Parasomnia by Dream Theater. Not gonna lie, bud, you play Stone Sour and Dream Theater at the 420 party, I might step outside for a minute. I might wait, get some fresh air. That being said, Miles Davis and the Beatles, hell yeah, old school vibes. Meliora from Ghost, you know, spooky kind of arena rock metal vibes. Gold Star, Imperial Triumphant, I mean, we're bordering on scaring the host territory once again, but I do love that album, so fuck it. And Absolute Elsewhere, a cosmic death metal masterpiece, as I've labeled it before, absolutely belongs on a 420 playlist this fucking year. Abso-fucking-goddamn-lutely. Slick Games 2 GD5JW says, Super Stupid by Funkadelic? Yeah! A fucking classic record, hell yeah! Fits the vibe nicely too. Kinda funky, kinda soulful, Great, smooth, casual vibes. I like that a lot. Fuck yeah, we're getting stoned 70s style. Let's go. Damn, Blackwater Rust giving us a ton of recommendations, but I fuck with most of them. Aranti Pazuzu, Mester and Kinsey. Love that album. Self-titled from Alice in Chains. Great. Outkast. I like seeing some Outkast on here as well, and some Kamasi Washington. Hell yeah. Focus from Cynic as well, a classic tech death prog death album. Lord knows I used to smoke to that a lot back in college, back in my early 20s, so I definitely fuck with a lot of these fucking choices here. And you know what? I think we're good. I think we're in a pretty solid spot to start wrapping things up. We've got tons of comments, tons of recommendations. Thank you for your comments. I apologize if I did not read it aloud here in this video, but thank you for posting it. That was really cool and great of you. I'm so proud of you. If you have not already done so, tell me what will be on your 420 playlist. Tell me what you think makes for an essential 420 playlist. And just tell me what you're listening to in general lately, because, like, why not? Fuck it. Make sure you press subscribe, make sure you check out other videos and join us on Discord. Make sure if you do participate in 420, you do so safely. And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.